The count now? Okay. That's tricky.
Can I get a bottle?
Okay.
Just a minute. Good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome to grade 6 class. My name is Mr. Darius Daka. I'm going to take you in our mathematics for today, and our topic for today is approximation. So if at all you've got any questions, boys and girls, you can SMS me on 0970-703139. You can SMS me on 0970-703139. Boys and girls, you must also understand that we have got our GMF online classes that are running on Facebook. That is for grade 8, grade 10, and grade 11. So if you want to be part and parcel of those classes, boys and girls, you can contact the lines that are scrolling on your screen for you to be part and parcel of those classes. So once again, boys and girls, if you have got any questions, you can SMS me using 0970-703139. Okay, so our today's lesson, boys and girls, like I said earlier on, is approximation. Okay, so boys and girls, by the end of this lesson, we must be able to round off. Okay, we must be able to round off to the nearest unit. Okay, so at the end of the lesson, boys and girls, we must be able to round off to the nearest unit. This is our objective for today. All right, so we must be able to round off to the nearest unit. Okay, so boys and girls, today we are looking at approximation. But to start with, boys and girls, what do we understand by the word approximation? What do we understand by the word approximation? Approximation means to represent a certain value by an approximate value that is very close to the original value. Okay, so approximation means approximation means to represent a certain value by an approximate value that is very close to the original value. Okay, so approximation means to represent a certain value by an approximate value that is very close to the original value. Approximation means to represent a certain value by an approximate value that is very close to the original value. Okay, so boys and girls, in this unit we are going to look at how to round off. Okay, we are going to look at how to round off. Okay, so boys and girls, like I said, we are going to look at how to round off numbers to the nearest 10. Numbers to the nearest 10, 100, or 1,000. Okay, we are going to look at how we can round off numbers to the nearest 10, 100, or 1,000. All right, so we are going to look at how we can round off numbers to the nearest 10, 100, or 1,000. Okay, so what does it mean, boys and girls, when we say we are going to round off numbers to the nearest 10, 100, or 1,000? Okay, so the first thing that you must understand is when it comes to rounding off, you must identify the rounding digit. You must identify the rounding digit. This is the digit in the place value to the nearest 10. Then this is the digit in the place value to which the rounding must be done. Okay, this is the digit in the place value to which the rounding must be done. If you have to round off to the nearest 10, then find the digit in the tens position. Okay, so for example, if I've got 12, okay, if I have got 12 there, I know that the number that is in the tens position in 12 is 1. Okay, 1 is in the tens position. So boys and girls, you must understand that numbers that are between 1, that is from 0 to 4, okay, you don't round off, but okay, you don't round up, but you round down. What do I mean? For example, if you look at 1 there, okay, so this one is the one that we are changing, okay, or is the one that we are going to round off. But if you check the next number that is close to 1, the next number that is close to 1 is 2. So what do we do? Since this number 2 is between 0 and 4, so what we are going to do is we are going to round down. We are going to round down, meaning 12 will become 10. 12 will become 10 to the nearest 10. 12 will become 10 to the nearest 10. Okay, so 12 will become 10 to the nearest 10. What we have done, boys and girls, is we have rounded down 12 to 10. Okay, why? Because the number which is close to 10 is what is between 0 and 4. So I said if a number is between 0 and 4, you don't have to round off, but you just round down. Okay, so when you round down, it means that the number becomes 10 to the nearest 10. Okay, for example, if you have been given 158, if you have been given 158, and then you are told to round off to the nearest 10, you are told to round off to the nearest 10. What are we going to do, boys and girls? What we are going to do there is that we are going to change 5, because 5 is in the tens position. 5 is in the tens position. So we check the next number. If the next number is between 5 and 9, what do? You round off, or you round up. Okay, so if the number is between 5 and 9, that is from 5 to 9, you round off. So our 158 there, it means it will be 159. Our 158 there, sorry, our 158 there will be 160. 158 will be 160. What we have done, boys and girls, is that we have taken 1 from 8, we have put it on 5, and it has become 6. Okay, so you write the 0 at the end to show the place value for 8. So it has become 160 to the nearest 10. Okay, it has become 160 to the nearest 10. Okay, so that's it, boys and girls, on how we can round off numbers to the nearest 10. That's how we can round off numbers to the nearest 10. So, boys and girls, I said if a number, the number that you're rounding off is between 0 and 4. What do? You round down. So this is what we've done here. We've rounded down and the numbers become 10. Okay, why? Because our 2 there is between 0 and 4. But for 158, if you look at 8, it's between 5 and 9. So we've taken 1 from 8 and we've put on 5, it has become 6. So it has become 160 to the nearest 10. Okay, so boys and girls, once again, if you have got any questions, you can SMS me on 0970-703139 and we'll be able to interact. Okay, so let's go back to our lesson once again. All right, so when you're rounding off whole numbers to the nearest 10, the last digit is considered. Okay, so when you are rounding off numbers, okay, let me just write this properly, boys and girls, so that you're able to follow properly. Okay, so let me just write down some notes for you. Okay. So I said, for example, the number 12. Okay, 12, and then we are changing 12. We are changing 1, okay, to the nearest 10. So what are we going to do there? We are going to write 10 to the nearest 10. Okay, and then the number 158 will change to 160, okay, to the nearest 10. Okay, so I said if a number is between 0 and 4, you must round down. Okay, I said if a number is between 0 and 4, you must round down. And then if a number is between 5 and 9, you must round up. Okay, so an example of a number that we've rounded down is 12. We have rounded down to 10, which is the nearest 10. Why? Because if you look at the 2 there, this 2 is between 0 and 4. So a number that is between 0 and 4, you do what? You round down to the nearest 10. And then if a number is between 5 and 9, you must round up. For example, here we are rounding off 5 there. Okay, and then if you check the next number is 8, of which 8 is between 5 and 9. So you round up, meaning that you get 1 from there, put it there, it becomes 160 to the nearest 10. All right. So boys and girls, let's look at examples. Okay, let's look at examples. Right, number 1 says round off to the nearest 23, sorry, to the nearest 10. We round off to the nearest 10, then we are given 23, 128, and 173. So you round off to the nearest 10. Okay, number 2, round off to the nearest 100. Okay, so we've got 648, 121, and 250. Okay, number 3, round off to the nearest 1,000. So our numbers there are 1648, 3950, and 9351. Okay, so those are the numbers that have been given, boys and girls, for us to round off. Those are the numbers that have been given for us to round off. Okay, so the first question says round off to the nearest 10. We've got 23, 128, and 173. Number 2, round off to the nearest 100. 648, 121, and 250. Number 3, round off to the nearest 1,000. 1,648, 3,950, and 9,351. So you must round off those numbers to the nearest 10, 100, and 1,000. So let's start with number 1, boys and girls. Okay, so what are we going to do for number 1? What are we going to do for number 1? So we have been given 23 there. What are we going to do with 23? Okay, so this is how you change 23 to the nearest 10. This is how you change 23 to the nearest 10. So remember, boys and girls, I said if a number is between 0 and 4, you must round down. If a number is between 5 and 9, you must round up. So if you look at this number 23, our 23 there, our focus is on 2. Why? Because 2 is in the tens position. 2 is in the tens position. So immediately after 2, you look at the next number. The next number is 3. The next number is 3. And remember, we've said if a number is between 0 and 4, you must round down. So because our 3 there is between 0 and 4, we are going to do what? We are going to round down. So when we round down, it means we are going to write 2 and 0. Okay, the reason why we've written 2 and 0, it's because we've rounded down. Okay, so it will be 20 to the nearest 10. Okay, we've rounded down 23 there. Why? Because 3 is between 0 and 4, so we've rounded down. boys and girls, we've written a 0 there just to show the place value for ones. Hence, we've rounded down to the nearest 10. Let's go to 128. 128. Okay, so we are rounding off 128 to the nearest 10. We are rounding off 128 to the nearest 10. So boys and girls, if you look at the number which is in the tens position is 2. So 2 is in the tens position. So once we find the number that we're rounding off, we will check the next number. So if you find there, the next number is what? Is 8. And remember, I said if a number is between 5 and 9, you must round up. If a number is between 5 and 9, you must round up. So here, this number is between 5 and 9. So we are going to round up, meaning that we are going to get 1 from 8 and then we'll put it on 2. Therefore, it will become 130. Okay, we've taken 1 from 8, we've put it on 2, it has become 3. Okay, so we've written it. We've written the 3 there, and then where there is 8 there, you must write 0 to show the place value for what? For 8. Therefore, it will be 130 to the nearest 10. Okay, so boys and girls, I hope you are following. The main reason why we are writing 0 there is to show the place value. For example, here the 0 represents 3. Okay, we've rounded down and the 0 represents what? 3. So 0 there shows the place value for what? For 3. And then here we've also written 0 again to show the place value for what? For 8. Okay, we've written 0 there to show the place value for 8. Hence, we've rounded up 128. Why? Because the next number is between 5 and 9. We've rounded up and then we've taken 1 from there, we've put it there, it has become 3. So it changes to 130 to the nearest 10. Boys and girls, if there's any question that you still want to ask where you haven't understood, you can SMS me using 0970-703139. You must understand that our GMF online classes are running on Facebook. So please, boys and girls, be part and parcel of those classes by contacting the lines that are scrolling on your screen, and people will be there to contact you. All right. So let's go back to our lesson, boys and girls. So let's look at how we can round off to the nearest 100. How we can round off to the nearest 100. But before we go there, there's a number that we haven't yet answered, which is 173. Okay, so we haven't answered 173 there. Okay, so we must change 173, or we must round off 173 to the nearest 10. We must change 173 to the nearest 10. Okay, so boys and girls, how do we change 173 to the nearest 10? Here, the number that is in the tens position is 7. The number that is in the tens position is 7. So, since we found the number that is in the tens position, let's check the next number. Our next number, boys and girls, is between 0 and 4. Our next number is between 0 and 4. So I said if the number is between 0 and 4, you must round down. So if we round down, boys and girls, our answer will be 170 to the nearest 10. Okay, our answer will be 170 to the nearest 10, meaning that we've changed the number from we've rounded off the number to the nearest 10. So boys and girls, once again I said no calling please. You can just send an SMS and I'll be there to answer you. All right, so let's move on to number 2. Let's move on to number 2. Okay, so boys and girls, number 2 says round off to the nearest 100. So we have got 648. Okay, 648. So we must change 648 to the nearest 10, to the nearest 100. We must change 648 to the nearest 100. So how do we change 648 to the nearest 100? You must understand that these are ones, tens, and then hundreds. So our 6 is the one that is in the tens position. Our 6 is the one that is in the tens position. So boys and girls, just like the way we've solved with question 1, it's the same method that we're going to use to solve question 2. All right. So there, since our 6 is the one that is in the hundreds position, we check the next number. So our next number, if we check, you discover that it's between 0 and 4. And then I said if a number is between 0 and 4, you must round down. So there our answer will be 600. All right. Our answer will be 600. To the nearest, to the nearest 100. Our answer will be 600 to the nearest 100. All right, let's go to, we go to 121. All right, so we have got 121 there. Okay, so boys and girls, the number that is in our 100th position is 1. Okay, our 1 there is in the 100th position. So what are we going to do? We check the next number again. So you discover that the next number is between 0 and 4. The next number is between 0 and 4. So if the number is between 0 and 4, what do? You round down. So it will be 100. All right, it will be 100 to the nearest to the nearest 100. All right, so boys and girls, once again you might ask yourself to say, where has the 2 and the 1 gone? Where has the 2 and the 1 gone? Okay, so these are the 2. The reason why we've put zeros there is because the number that we were rounding off is 1. And then I said if the number is between 0 and 4, what do? You round down. So we've put the zeros there to show the place values for 2 and 1. Even there we've put the zeros to show the place values for 4 and 8. All right, I hope you are following, boys and girls. Let's go to our next number. Our next number is 250. All right, our next number is 250. So boys and girls, if you check the next number, which is 250, the number that is in the 100th position is 2. The number that is in the 100th position is 2. So if you check the number which is in the 100th position, which is 2, the next number there is 5. The next number there is 5, and 5 is between 5 and 9. 5 is between 5 and 9. So what do? You get a 1 from 5, you put it on 2, it becomes 3. Okay, so it will be 300 to the nearest 100. It will be 300 to the nearest 100. It will be 300 to the nearest 100. Okay, I hope you are following, boys and girls. Let's go to number 3. Okay, we go to number 3. So for number 3 says round off to the nearest 1,000. Round off to the nearest 1,000. And then there we have got 1648. We have got 1648. So boys and girls, what are we going to do? Okay, we are rounding off to the nearest 1,000. So if we're rounding off to the nearest 1,000, you must understand that these are ones, tens, hundreds, and then these are thousands. Okay, these are thousands. So check the next number. The next number is 6. And then we've said that if a number is between 5 and 9, you must round up. So we are going to round up, meaning that we're going to get a 1 from 6. We put it there, it will become 2. Okay, 2. Then where there are the 6, 4, and 8, we are going to write 3 zeros. Okay, we write 3 zeros to the nearest 1,000. Okay, so we've rounded off 1,648 to 2,000, which is to the nearest 1,000. Let's round off 3,950 to the nearest 1,000. So if you round off this number to the nearest 1,000, it will be what? We change. It means that the number that is in the 1,000th position is 3. Okay, so check the next number. The next number is between 5 and 9. So when you get the 1 from there, we put it there, it will become 4. Okay, it will become 4. Then it will be 4,000 to the nearest 1,000. Okay, so it has become 4,000 to the nearest 1,000. Let's check the last one, which is 9,351. 9,351. So when we change 9,351 to the nearest 1,000, boys and girls, it means we are changing the 9. Okay, now our 9 is the one that is in the 1,000th position. So check the next number. The next number is what? Is between 0 and 4. So if the number is between 0 and 4, you round down. Therefore, it will be 9,000. 9,000 to the nearest 1,000. Okay, so it will be 9,000 to the nearest 1,000. Okay, so those are the examples, boys and girls, that we have in our topic. Okay, for rounding off to the nearest 10, 100, and 1,000. For rounding off to the nearest 10, 100, and 1,000. Okay, so boys and girls, if you have got any questions, you can SMS me on 0970-703139. You can SMS me on 0970-703139, and then I'll be able to answer your questions. Those who want to be part and parcel of grade 8, grade 10 and 11 classes, you can contact the line that is on your screen, and people will be there to help you so that you can be part and parcel of our class. Okay, so boys and girls, let's go to how we can round off to the nearest decimal place. Let's go to how we can round off to the nearest decimal place. So I hope you've written down, and then I can rub this side. Okay, so another topic is rounding off to the nearest decimal place. All right. Rounding off to the nearest decimal place. Okay, rounding off to the nearest decimal place. Okay, rounding off to the nearest decimal place. Okay, so let me give you the examples. Number 1, round off 8.9463 to a 1 decimal place. B, 2 decimal places. C, 3 decimal places. Number 2, round each of the following numbers to the number of the decimal places stated in brackets. A 0.3741 to 2 decimal places. B 3.0845 to 3 decimal places. C 4.98 to 1 decimal place. All right, so those are the examples for today, boys and girls. Those are the examples for today. All right. So if at all you've got any questions, boys and girls, where you haven't understood, you can SMS me on 0970-703139. You can SMS me on 0970-703139. You must understand, boys and girls, that our GMF online classes are running. Okay, that is Goca, MUBUYU, and Fountain Gate classes. So if you want to be part and parcel of these classes, please, you can enroll by contacting the lines that are scrolling on your screen. All right, so let's find our answers on how to round off to the nearest decimal places. On how to round off to the nearest decimal place. So boys and girls, if this is when you are joining us, okay? If this is when you are joining us for a wonderful class, you must understand that we are looking at approximation. So approximation, boys and girls, is our topic for today. So let's look at how we can find the answers, how we can find the solutions. All right. So here we go. I hope you are ready. Okay. I hope you are ready and you are following. Okay, so round off 8.9463 to 1 decimal place, B to 2 decimal places, C to 3 decimal places. Okay, so let's start with our 1A. How do we round off to 1 decimal place? Okay, so this is 8.9463. Boys and girls, this is 8.9463. So how do we round off that number to 1 decimal place? Okay, so boys and girls, the first decimal place is 9. Okay, so the first decimal place is 9. So remember, we are rounding off to 1 decimal place. So if the first decimal place is 9, check the next number. Remember our rule, we said in our rules, in one of the rules, we said that if a number is between 0 and 4, what do? You round down. If the number is between 0 and 4, you do what? You round down. But in this case, what we are going to do is we are going to remove the other numbers if the next number is between 0 and 4. So our answer will be 8.9. Our answer will be 8.9, meaning that the other numbers will be eliminated or they will be removed. Why? Because the next number is between 0 and 4. So it will be 8.9 to the nearest, or 8.9 correct to 1 decimal place. 8.9 correct to 1 decimal place. All right, let's get the same number. We round it off to 2 decimal places. So B, it is 8.9463. okay, 8.9463. How do we round off that number, boys and girls? How do we round off that number? So we can round off this number by checking which one is, because the question says we round off to 2 decimal places. So this is the first decimal place and this one is the second decimal place. So our 4 there is in the is the position for the second decimal place. So check the next number. The next number is between 5 and 9, which is 6. So if you round off, meaning that we are going to get 1 from 6, we'll put it on 4, it will become 5. So it will be 8.95. Okay, it will be 8.95. Correct. All right. Correct to 2 decimal places. Okay. And then C, okay, we write 8.9463. Okay, so we are rounding off 8.9463 correct to how many decimal places? To 3 decimal places. So our first decimal place is this one, second decimal place, third decimal place. So our third decimal place is 6. So check the next number. The next number is what? Is 3. And I said numbers between 0 and 4, you don't round off. Okay, you don't round off. So our answer will be 8.946. Correct to 3 decimal places. Okay, the answer will be 8.946 correct to 3 decimal places. All right, I hope you are done this side, boys and girls, and I can rub. I believe you are done copying this side. I can rub so that we solve example 2. All right, so if you want to be, if you have got any questions, you can contact me or you can SMS me using the number 0970703139, and I'll be there to respond to your question. Okay, so number 2 says round each of the following numbers to the number of the decimal places stated in brackets. For example, we've got 0.3741. Okay, 0.3741. We are supposed to round off this number to 2 decimal places. So we have got 0.3741. Okay, so boys and girls, if we round off this number to 2 decimal places, we know that our 2 decimal places, this is the first decimal place, this one is the second decimal place. So these 3 and 7 makes 2 decimal places. Then check the next number. The next number is between 0 and 4. So what do? You don't round off. So the answer will be 0.37. Correct to 2 decimal places. Okay, correct to 2 decimal places. B says round off 3.0845 to 3 decimal places. So our B will be 3.0845. 3.0845. So we are changing to 3 decimal places. So 3 decimal places, this is the first decimal place, second decimal place, and third decimal place. So here our third decimal place is 4. So check the next number. The next number is between 5 and 9. So if the number is between 5 and 9, boys and girls, what do? You round off, meaning you get the one, you put it on 4, it becomes 5. So it will be 3.0, okay, 3.085 correct to 3 decimal places. All right, so that's it for B. Let's go to C. C says we must round off to 1 decimal place. The number is 4.98. Okay, 4.98. How do we round off to 1 decimal place? Okay, how do we round off to 1 decimal place? Okay, so 4.98, it means that when we round off to one decimal place, our first decimal place is this one. So meaning that we are going to change our 8 there. We put it on, we get 1 from 8, we put it on 9, okay? So there, on 9, there will be what? There will be 0, meaning that this 9 will become 10. So if it becomes 10, you write a 0 there, then you carry the 1 to where 4 is. So it will be 5. All right, okay. So it will be 5.0. Okay, it will be 5.0, meaning that when you get the 1 from 8, you put it on 9 there, it becomes what? It becomes 10. But here you can't write 10, boys and girls. You write the 0, which is this one, then carry the 1 to where 4 is, then it will become 5. So it will be 5.0, correct, to 1 decimal place. Okay, so it will be 5.0, correct, to 1 decimal place. All right, so I hope you are following, boys and girls. I hope you are following our today's lesson. So, boys and girls, let's write homework, okay? But before we do that, let me find out if at all you've got any questions, all right? If at all you've got any questions. This one says, why question 2 you did carry 1 from 8 when rounding off? Why question 2 you did carry 1 from 8? Okay, question 2 is this one. We did carry 1 from 8 when rounding off. All right, all right, all right. Okay, I've seen the question. So I've said this is 4.98. Okay, this is 4.98. And boys and girls, remember I said if a number is between 5 and 9, if a number is between 5 and 9, what do? You get you get 1, okay, from the next number, okay, which is to the right. So remember, we are rounding off 4.98, okay, to 1 decimal place. And 1 decimal place is just here, the first decimal place. This is 1 decimal place. So what do? You check the next number. Our next number there is what? Is 8. So you get the 1, you get 1 from 8, you put it on 9. So I said if you get the 1 from 8, you put it on 9, it becomes what? It becomes 10. But you can't write you can't write 10 there, boys and girls. What do? You write 0. Okay, you write 0, then you carry the 1 to the next number. So when you carry the 1 to the next number, this number, which is 4, it will become 5. That's what I've said there. I hope I've explained and you've understood. Okay, let me check if at all there's another question. Okay, for now we don't have any question. All right, so let's copy the homework, boys and girls. Let's copy the homework, which we'll revise together in the next class. Number 1 says, round off the following numbers to the nearest 10. A 54, B 69, C 98. Okay, number 2. I'll just give you 2 questions, boys and girls. Round off 45.6784 to A 1 decimal place. DP, boys and girls, stands for decimal place. B 2 decimal places. C 3 decimal places. Okay, so those are the questions, boys and girls. Okay, so number 1 says round off the following numbers to the nearest 10. We've got A 54, B 69, C 98. Number 2, round off 45.6784 to A 1 decimal place, B 2 decimal places, C 3 decimal places. So boys and girls, I'll move away just for 40 seconds or so for you to copy. All right, for you to copy the work in your books. All right, so if you've got any question, you can SMS me on 0970 703139. You can SMS me on 0970 703139. Okay, you must also understand that our GMF online classes are running on Facebook, so you must contact the line that is on the screen. There are people who will be there to help you. Okay, our grade 8, 10 and 11 classes, they are running on this on Facebook. That is our Goca, MUBUYU and Fountain Gate classes. Okay, all right. Okay, so I've seen this. This one says, sir, we can't see properly. The mark is not so vividly. All right, maybe let me just write with a blue one for you to see the questions properly. All right, so this is our 69. Okay, this is our 98. Okay, number 2, round off. Okay, so this is our B. All right, decimal place. Okay. Okay, decimal place again. All right, so I can read for you, for those who can't see properly. Number 1 says, round off the following numbers to the nearest 10. Round off the following numbers to the nearest 10. A 54, B 69, C 98. Number 2, round off 45.6784. Round off 45.6784 to A 1 decimal place, B, 2 decimal places, C, 3 decimal places. Okay, I hope I've read the questions for you, boys and girls. Then I believe you've written down those questions. Okay. All right. This one comes from Pastor Xavier. Okay, you've said, Pastor Xavier, nice classwork, sir. Thank you so much, Pastor Xavier. Okay. All right, so boys and girls, this has been Mr. Darius Daka. If you have got any questions or queries, you can still ask your questions on 0970703139. Remember our GMF online class. The classes are on for grade 8, grade 10, and grade 11. So contact the lines that are on our screen and people will be there to help you. My name has been Mr. Darius Daka. Until we meet tomorrow for another exciting class, it's goodbye and God bless you.
That will grow in Zambia and the livestock.
Look at our geographic expression.
Good afternoon, class. And these are examples of crops that will grow in Zambia and the livestock.
Look at our geographic expression.